So this free speech will be about shame, conscience, and sin. What is shame? Shame is an infantile feeling that we've done something wrong, conditioned by mother and father. You've done something wrong, bad boy, bad girl. And once you become shameless, it doesn't mean that you become evil or degenerate. Now conscience, conscientia. The Roman conscientia means co-knowing, co-knowledge. Of course, it was indoctrinated by Judeo-Christianity, the theological gibberish, the moralizing, the flawed ethos. But conscientia at its very core is a Roman term of co-knowing, gigantomachia, the knowledge of right and wrong in a given subset of consensual superstructure of ideas, whether values, virtues, civilizational culture, content. Now what is sin? Sin is a Hebrew invention. No other civilization invented the concept of sin. There were transgressions against laws, transgressions against ethos, transgressions against the culture, transgressions against something that was set as the casus, the usus, the common sense and the common understanding of what is right and wrong. Now, the main point is that we heathens derive our act from responsibility, nobility, and ethos. That is, we don't believe in sin, we don't give a damn about those shameful, self-bashing sinners. We carry on, and often-wise Judeo-Christians attempt to, especially if you're indoctrinated in this civilizational discourse, use the feeling of shame and conscience against you to push you back into this slavery. So, if you do something wrong, it is wrong within the Judeo-Christian paradigm. The devil chases you towards what? Towards the cross. Then from the cross it chases you toward the confessional box and plays on your conscience. You have no ability to develop a truly worthy, noble ethos. Now, morality is relative, as we know by studying cultures, tribes, ethnicities of various peoples. Morality is wholly relative. Ethos is not. So when a warrior kills, his ethos agrees with the killing. His morality may question it. What morality? Whose morality? That is the question. And if you disagree with Judeo-Christian morality, they call you a sinner. Or they try to push you back into their view of morality. You're not with us, you're against us, you're the devil. And whose morality is it? Is the prime question. So they act as if their morality would be universal, applying to everyone. And as we know, humaneness and nature draws from many bestiality and idyll. So you can compose your nature that is noble, but it seems as if bestial to Judeo-Christians, because they're not accustomed to the fact that someone doesn't subscribe to the flawed belief systems and moralities. Therefore, what I derived from my experiences in life, supported by Julian Autokraton, called the apostate by Judeo-Christians, is that you need to know good and evil in order to derive what is right. You need to experience it firsthand. It doesn't mean that you need to indulge in murder or genocide or some trifling, cruel affairs. It means that you recognize them as natural occurrences in the human spectrum of behaviors. And you see by reason and insight what is leading to a proper resolution that is, let's say, benevolent or regulating these affairs of human natures. It was the ancient Roman law to destroy the excess, for example, modern day far left, far right, and moderate, reform, the middle, the center. So by what most humans live by, in order to provide for a good solution. So whenever I hear that I'm evil because of that, I'm immoral because of that, moral police, I mock them away. It's like talking to a Hindi that being beheaded at behest of Kali is bestial and immoral. They don't care. They are the sacrifice that they believe personally that they are joining the retinue of Kali. So, as long as everything is within the sacral domain, every ethos, everything has a reasonable civilizational underpinning, and it is regulating human affairs. It is establishing a foundational work of civilization. Now, if we observe Judeo-Christianity with a morality that was compromised and a flawed ethos, Hiroshima, Nagasaki concentration camps, and modern day whitewashing and cherry picking, it is a laughter. So indoctrinating a child into this flawed morality and theology of gibberish and slime pedo idiots means that you're imprisoning it, not in a civilizational framework, but with shame and indoctrinated conscience. In other words, you're making yet another slave. And there are direct psychological mechanisms here. Because this child, when an adult, will be in a prison cell of running from the devil to the cross, from the cross to the devil, at the same time incapable of deriving authentic judgment and decision making when it comes to what it wants to be, what it wants to be directed towards, what kind of ethos it may constitute. And personally, I prefer the Paideik heretic standards of the Hellenes and of the Romans than the Judeo-Christian gibberish. Why? Because there is everything noble, heroic and beautiful in it. There is everything authentic, free and just in it. Now, Judeo-Christianity never managed to reform societies. Always, whether during the Renaissance, the classical period, the Enlightenment, the Romantic period, people looked back towards the Greco-Roman civilization and values. At least in Europe. They didn't look towards that crucified Jew. They didn't look towards the Bible. They didn't look towards the New Testament. They looked toward the ancient standards. Why? Because the whole of Judeo-Christian theology, morality, ethics was never capable of reforming societies. It is as dead as the corpse on the cross. Thank you.